Welcome, welcome, welcome. Bendición, luz y progreso to each and every one of you. I'm going to give it a moment for the stream to do what it need to do. If you're tapping in, tap in down below, say hello. I tried to come on early. Hi, Raven. Blessings, Queen. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome in, everyone. I'm well, I'm well. Thank you for asking. I hope you are. I am just getting on. I am on Facebook, on YouTube. Hello, hello, everybody. Definitely tap in down below. If you haven't done so yet, make sure you guys smash that like and subscribe to the tribe. There we go. Now I can hear everybody. Tap in, everyone. Say hello. Drop your name in Zodiac. If this is your first time tapping in, put a rose next to your name. And if you've been here before, you already know what flower to put. I'm going to give it a little bit. It is early, but I wanted to tap in with you guys because we have several different people on different times. I know I've heard a lot of you say, "Oh, I keep missing you." Late night is typically my night, my time, my usual time. Welcome back, Raven. So I'm trying to get my early people too, because I know sometimes y'all can't hang at night. I understand. Welcome, 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 everyone. Thank you. It's Tarot of the Oppositions. So there's no, reversals. It's just the reverses on the actual same deck. Steven actually recommended this deck to me. I actually talked to him today. And it was good. I hadn't talked to him in a while. Yeah. You guys know him or may know him. If you haven't checked him out, his name is King Tarot. He's also on here. I feel like I've made a really good connection with the spiritual community on here. I've also encompassed a lot of other people that obviously did not suit my highest good. But I have met a lot of genuine people who, are kind of on the same vibration as me, because especially this day and age, a lot of people are out here just doing people wrong for no reason. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, he recommended this deck, and I think I don't know if I purchased it or someone from the collective sent it off my Amazon wish list. But either way, we were blessed with this deck, and I don't use it as often as I need to, but I took this one out, and I also took out my Journey Tarot. I haven't used this one. I have a whole bunch of decks. When I tell you I have a bunch of decks, I have a bunch of decks. But you get, whenever you feel drawn to a deck, like this has been like, you could tell this has been my deck that I've been through it because it's all taped up and, you look at this, it's all ripped. And this wasn't even my first deck. This wasn't my first deck at all. But yeah, it's just, you get used to what you get used to. But we are on. I feel like I want to do like a little collective. Yeah, do I still have my first deck? Yeah. You want to see what my first deck was? It was actually an Oracle deck. It was an Oracle deck. And I still have it in the box. I have all my boxes actually, but this was my first deck ever. And it's called The Whispers of Healing. And um it makes sense because I'm a healer. Hi, Tazi Bendicion. Because I'm a healer, right? So it just makes sense as to why this one connected with me because at that time I was really going through it. But the the peacocks, I was drawn to the peacocks, and I was also drawn to like this Asian, you know, she's definitely giving like an Asian vibe. And like when I was younger, my dad, he had a nickname, right? And they called him Chino. And I'm a spitting image of my dad. If you guys haven't noticed, I be posting videos of him all the time. Very funny. My dad is very funny, but they would call me China. So I saw this, the peacocks, and then the butterflies, and I was like, this is my deck. And when I tell you, these are these are so pretty. This is one of the most precious decks that I have. And so yeah, this is my this is my first deck I ever got. And it wasn't even tarot, it was an oracle deck, and I loved it so much that I ended up getting another deck, but this was like way after, and this is the gratitude deck. So going from healing then to the gratitude deck, I don't know how many decks she has, but it just shows you the journey, right? Especially as somebody who is a divinator, right? You go through your journey, you go through your phases. And I think it's a beautiful thing. Like all of my decks have a story. Like I have my Española deck. That one is in my room actually. It's wrapped up and I keep that one sacred. I don't use those decks, but I know that the gypsy spirit in me will resonate with that. So when I get connected with them, I will. But those were actually given to me for like $5. $5. I was like, okay, I'll take it. You know what I'm saying? This other Spanish deck that I have, like all of my Spanish decks, I don't know why, but they've all come at like the dumbest, like basically free. This deck right here was practically free. I really feel like this deck was given to me. I'm not even gonna lie. And it was at a shop that I went to, that I still go to actually. It's called Mama Bessie's in Charlotte, North Carolina. If you guys ever need a spiritual shop to go to, this is not a promotion or advertising. I'm not getting paid for it, but that is a shop that I definitely would recommend if you guys are in Charlotte, North Carolina. But this one was given to me. And then I also have I have another deck that this one I got to be careful with this because I don't want to like, get banned or anything. But this one is also a tarot deck, and it's sex fortune, sex position tarot cards for lovers. And this one was like, I want to say, look, $5.99. I cannot make this shit up. $5.99. And usually tarot decks are between like 40 to 60, sometimes $100. Like tarot decks are really expensive. And this is a Spanish deck. This a Spanish deck? No, this is not a Spanish deck. But still, you know what I'm saying? It's just like the randomest decks finds me. And at one point, um, Marshalls, Marshalls, for whatever reason, they had this like phase where they sold some of the decks, like where the notebooks were, and I found this mini tarot deck. I want to say I paid like maybe $5. Like, and that's why I say when you're supposed to do what you're doing, people will either gift you decks or they will come to you at such an affordable rate because it's your calling. You're meant to touch those cards. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I always say, like, I haven't bought decks in a while, actually. I've been fortunate of the decks that I have and I still use, but I have a bunch of decks on my Amazon wish list that if anybody would like to, bless the collective with, I bless y'all with the messages, right? But they're on there. And I've had some people actually bless me with some decks from the collective, and that's why I say I'm fortunate. I'm blessed. I love all of my decks. There's even some decks that I have yet to really tap into, like this one. This one right here. This one right here, I've had for years, Dreams of Gaia Tarot. And I don't know what made me like go to this deck, but it's not an easy deck. I can interpret it, right? Because the messages are gonna flow regardless. But these are dope. I'm not even gonna lie. These are like one of the dopest, and I have not gotten rid of them. Maybe I'll do like a collective with them. I've done before, but sometimes they get so, like, look at this. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're just so pretty. Um Look, this is the King of Cups. And it's like with Roman numerals. It has the elements. Like, these cards are so in depth. Like, people don't understand. Like, when people buy cards, you know, it's look, this is the five of fire, 5 of wands. Like, you, with this deck, you would need to know your elements. You would need to know the concept. You get what I'm saying? Look, this is the Queen of Fire, Queen of Wands. I don't know. I feel like I could tap into this. I'm not even gonna lie. I feel like I could tap into this. But you know, look, 2 of Wands. Look at this one. Oh my God. This is so freaking pretty. You see what I'm saying? Like, I have so many decks that I haven't really tapped into. But hey, I'm down. Look at the Maiden. The Maiden. Yeah, this is a nice deck. I'm not gonna lie. That's why I haven't given it up. There's some decks that I don't give up. Um, I feel like I've given some decks away, but yeah, I've got some untapped decks. I don't know. I feel like I want to tap into this deck. Should we do a collective? Should we do a collective with this one? I'd be so down. I'd be so down. I'd be so down to do a collective. Yes. Okay. All right. Well, I guess we're gonna do a collective. Um, I'm cool with it. I'm cool with it. But y'all gotta help me share the live. Y'all gotta help share and tap. Okay. I'm cool with doing that. Um, but I always want to make sure that we all work effectively. You heard? So we're gonna tap in, y'all. Hi, sunshine. Hi, back. You just came just in time. We about to tap in on a collective energy. It's been a while. I pray love and light over you, my love. We're gonna tap in on collective energy, okay? I brought my an old deck out. I've had this deck for years. We were talking about decks, but for whatever reason, I feel like we have some messages to unveil with the Dreams of Gaia Tarot. It's a beautiful deck that I have. And like I said, I have so many decks that I don't tap in on the regular because as a reader, you just get so comfortable with one, right? But this one has so much like knowledge and truth. And I just know that there's going to be a collective energy here for y'all. So if you guys are here, I appreciate each and every one of y'all. Make sure you are following. Make sure you are tapping. And please, let's get the shares up to at least 20 so we can get started on the collective energy, okay? My name is Madam Divine. I am an intuitive psychic medium. So I do channel messages from those who have crossed over. I'm also very much tapped in onto the ethers. Okay. I have tremendous gifts I'm very blessed with, and I use them for the betterment and the higher resolution of our collective. Okay. I'm all about raising the collective vibration, collective energy. I'm a firm believer that energy shapes things. So if you're putting out good energy and you're blessing people with truth and knowledge, that will be a seed that will flourish amongst the collective. So that is who I am. Please beware of scammers. I will never reach out to you. That is not me in your DMs. I'm a firm believer as a healer, your people find you. They come to find you, okay? So if you guys like my vibe, definitely make sure you guys subscribe to YouTube, okay? If you guys need to leave and come back, you guys can always go on to the YouTube channel and run back the collective energy. I do apologize. The last couple of lives, I've not been putting the timestamps. So I will be putting the timestamp on this one, okay? Um, so make sure you guys are following. All of that is linked in my bio on my profile, okay? Um, I am also a Reiki practitioner. My YouTube, it's linked in my bio, but it's if you search my handle, it's unforgettable underscore EMZ. If somebody could put it in the chat for me, I would really appreciate it. But that's my handle for everything. Okay, unforgettable underscore EMZ. There's no numbers, no nothing, two T's, that's it. Okay. Don't be fooled by these people. And make sure you guys join the tribe, okay? I always post collective energies there. I always go live there. Sometimes we have issues, especially with TikTok and the ban and all that. Um, I always want you guys to be able to find me. Now, if you guys need to connect with me, the best way to connect with me is through Instagram. Okay, I do not respond to messages on TikTok because there are several fake pages, and I never want anybody to think that I'm going to respond unless I message you personally and you know that it's me, because I'll make sure you'll know it's me. But please do not be alarmed if you get a message from somebody. It is not me, okay? Just message me on Instagram, okay? So with that being said, we're going to tap into collective energy. We are at 10 shares. We need 10 more shares, y'all. At 20 shares, we will start collective. I'm going to go ahead and do my call to prayer. All right, so if you are here, know that you are blessed and know that you will receive your message. All right, I'm about to bless y'all with a deck that needed to kind of come off the shelf. All right, she's cleansed, she's clear. You see, she's glowing. She's got like a nice little glow to her. Even though she's been kept up, right? But I feel like there's going to be some divine messages here for my divine collective. So let's go ahead and tap in, y'all. Let's get to 20 shares. If you are on TikTok, if you are on the other platforms, please make sure to like and subscribe. All right, we're gonna go ahead and tap in. I've already prayed before. I always pray before, but I pray again because I always want to make sure that I am calling in the right energy. Right, I always want to make sure that I am connecting with the right people and that I have the correct message to give. Okay, I am not a deceiving energy. I'm not a manipulative energy. I am somebody that speaks nothing but truth. Okay, I will never lie to you. I will always have you look at yourself as a reflective mirror. That's who I am. I am a reflective mirror. So what you see is what you need to either enlighten or bring back into your spirit, or things that you've kind of left in the shadows that you need to work on it. And we all do that, okay? We all have our shadow selves. Trust me. What's up, Darlene? Love and light to you. We are about to commence our collective energy. I appreciate you being here. If you haven't done so, please make sure you smash that thumbs like and subscribe to the channel, okay? I'm going to go ahead and open up in prayer. We are almost at 20 shares on TikTok. Let's go ahead and share the live, share the love. All right. Hi, Mama. We're about to tap in on collective. All right. Let's get them likes and shares up, collective. Padre nuestro que está en los cielos, santificado sea tu nombre. Venga tu reino, hágase tu voluntad en la tierra como en el cielo. Danos hoy nuestro pan de cada día. Perdona nuestra ofensa como también nosotros perdonamos a los que nos ofenden. No nos dejes caer en la tentación, liberados del mal. Amén. Ave María, Dios te salve María, llena eres de gracia, el Señor es contigo. Bendita tú eres entre todas las mujeres y bendito es el fruto de tu vientre Jesús. Santa María, Madre de Dios, ruega por nosotros pecadores, ahora en la hora de nuestra muerte. Amén. Gloria al Padre, al Hijo, al Espíritu Santo, como era en el principio, ahora y siempre, por los siglos de los siglos. Amén, amén, amén. God, above all, I give you thanks for this time, space, and energy that you are aligning me with the collective once again. I ask that you please remove my energy as I now tap into the highest frequency of the collective as a unit. I ask that you please protect my energy as I now tap into the frequency of the collective. As I now tap in on the general message, whatever needs to come about, Spirit. I call upon Archangel Michael for your divine protection. I ask that you shield my crown all the way down to my feet. I ask that you shield the viewers wherever they may be watching from. Connect me, Spirit, as I now tap in. I call upon my highest self, higher power, the angels of divine white light. I call upon the ascended masters for divine truth, wisdom, and counsel through the Akashic records. May we speak nothing but truth and light to the collective. Whatever needs to be brought up to the forefront, Spirit, I ask that you connect me with the energy. Use me as the vessel as I now become the channel for messages for the beautiful collective in front of me. Spirit, I ask that you please align me at this time with those who need messages of clarity and truth at this time. As my messages are timeless, may you connect me through whatever portal you use, whether it's Facebook, whether it's YouTube or TikTok. Spirit, I ask that you align me at this time. We give all thanks for the messages that are being brought in advance. Ashe, Ashe, Ashe to the collective, and Ashe to my ancestors in advance. All right, collective. Looks like we made the shares. We're going to tap in. If you guys are ready for your collective energy, whatever platform you are on, I want to see those sunflowers. All right, let's pour into the collective energy. I feel like this message is definitely needed, okay, all across the board. So wherever you find yourself at in this time, space, and energy, just allow yourself to free your mind and allow the message to flow. Whatever is for you will find you, okay? Please do not force the energy. Please do not force the story. If it is your story, then apply it where you need to. And if it's not, then release it. Okay? Spirit, what is the energy for my beautiful collective? We're going to start the collective energy at 20. Let's do 24 minutes. 24 minutes. I don't know what this energy is going to bring about. I have no title. We're just doing general collective message. All right. What is the energy for my beautiful collective spirit? Please align me for the highest good. When it comes to my beautiful collective spirit, what is the energy? What is the energy for my beautiful collective? Let's tap in. Spirit, you drew this energy, this deck towards me for what? What is the general message for my beautiful collective at this time? What do the dreams of Gaia have for my beautiful collective at this time? Thank you, Spirit. Ooh, we got water energy. The Six of Cups, I believe. I believe this is the Six of Cups. Beautiful energy here. All right. Beautiful energy here. Water could be prominent. So we got Cancer, Pisces, and Scorpio energy. I feel with this energy, lighthearted, flowing energy. Hey, hey, hey. A lighthearted, flowing energy. And then with healing at the bottom of the deck. So for a lot of you, your emotions is like your gateway portal to healing. Okay? Your emotions is your gateway to healing. Do you guys understand what I mean by that principle? Your emotions is a gateway, a portal for your healing. All right. And I know that for some of you, it could be very difficult, right? It could be very difficult to really be in tune with those emotions because it can be very overwhelming, right? But when you balance that energy can become so healing, right? Bendición chula. Thank you for the heart me. If you guys haven't yet, make sure you guys send your daily heart me to join the team, okay? I'm gonna read from this one as well because I feel I feel a lot of energy. When it comes to you collective as well, some of you guys can be reminiscing a lot about the past, okay? Because the 6 of Cups has everything to do with has everything to do with family. It has everything to do with childhood. It has everything to do with the things that we love and that we nurture, right? And I feel like that's where you stabilize yourself. That's where you nurture and you stabilize your energy is through your family, through your friends, through your loved ones, through your heart center, right? So I'm gonna go into I'm gonna read what the meaning of the 6 of Waters is in this book, right? But it says the 6 of Waters is the epitome of kindness and concern. Excuse me. She represents all that is good and pure within humanity. And you want to know why? Is because that nurture, caring, water energy, that divine feminine flow energy, okay, is giving me divine empress energy. It says, she represents all that is good and pure within humanity and an ideal that many strive to meet. She is kind, but not to fault. She displays concerns and cares, but does so with a level of emotional detachment. She is sympathetic, compassionate, and giving, but not to the extent that she leaves nothing for herself. Oof. She is understanding and aware that we all think, believe, and see life in a unique way. And that this determines how we behave and respond to others. She is forgiving, but forgives because she knows the act sets her free and enables her to move forward without being weighed down by past experiences. Damn. Damn, I don't know who I'm talking to, but this is resonating. She is a gentle soul who overcomes all obstacles with a determination that is free of any aggression or intent to do harm. She is the peaceful warrior who wins all with a gentle touch or smile, a kind word, and a compassionate, generous nature. Does she represent an impossible ideal? Do you strive to be like her? Do you, collective? Do you strive to be a woman like this? Find yourself incapable of behaving this way all the time? The 6 of Water comes to tell you to just be you. Show compassion, be empathetic, understanding, and aware of all that makes us different. Be generous, but remember to keep healthy boundaries in place. Most importantly, be kind to yourself when you don't live up to your own, sometimes impossible ideals. To be the peaceful warrior, you have to be as kind and generous to yourself as you are to others. Damn. So, collective, the 6 of Waters represents a lot, right? You have healing energy. A lot of you can be very empathetic, especially when it comes to the people that surround you with their situations, right? Sometimes you don't have control over what happens in other people's lives, but for whatever reason, something in you wants to always do something to nurture and make them feel like everything is going to be okay. But again, Spirit is saying that there is a need for you to continue in this energy, but know when to set firm boundaries of when to stop. Okay? Because being as caring and nurturing and loving, that can also be a downfall for you, right? Because you can always provide for other people, but then you leave yourself with nothing. So, Spirit wants to remind you that it's okay to want to help people, but help people where you can, where you don't put yourself in a situation or a bind where you end up losing yourself. Out of good faith, I understand we all have a good heart and we don't like seeing people down and debilitated. But some people can also see that as that's your strength, right? That's a strength that you embody. But some people can see that as a weakness and try to take advantage of that. And that's where you need to set those firm boundaries, okay? So, potential blockage. It says the 6 of Waters reversed. It didn't come out in the reverse. Um Actually, I'm not even going to read that cuz it didn't even come out in the reverse. I really do feel like that is the message, right? Even being a healer, even being a healer, um it gets to a point where, you know, you have all this knowledge, you have all these resources, you have all of this support, you have all of this, and it's like you want to give, right? And you can see the hand. It's like you want to give, like, here, I have this. I have this, and I want to give it to you, right? With no condition, with no nothing, right? No conditions whatsoever. It's your lighthearted energy. But sometimes you gotta keep some of that to yourself, my loves. Okay? You gotta keep that to yourself. Like sometimes people have to take accountability of their own life situations. You have your own situation that you have to look out for, collective. Spirit, that's a beautiful, beautiful energy right there. And just a reminder, right, that it's not being selfish. It's you gotta look out for you. You should always look out for you. You should always, don't matter if somebody is, experiencing whatever it is that they're experiencing, you gotta make sure you look out for you. Okay, we have choice. We have choice here. Yes, you have to put yourself first sometimes. Yeah. And some people are not going to see that, right? But this card in itself is very powerful. I'm not even going to lie. I'm getting so much energy off of this because the first thing that my eyes are being drawn to is this tree, right? And if you think about trees, trees are rooted, right? Trees are rooted in earth, grounded, right? Stability, balance, airflow. You get what I'm saying? It's like the way of life. And with choice here, it seems like there are some things that you may be weighing right now. Okay? There may be some really intense decisions that you're having to face. And with the snake here, right? The snake is holding this flame. And if you think about snakes, snakes are all about shedding, transformation. Snakes are all about releasing their dead skin, right? And they do it so naturally. It's not like anything that they have to force. It's just something by physical nature that a snake must shed. And sometimes there are certain choices that we know we need to shed, but we grasp onto it so tightly that we cause our own infliction wounds by holding on to it. And let me give you a further explanation, right? Because I mean, you could see how this serpent, right, is hanging tightly onto that tree. And like I mentioned, trees are stability, foundation, whatever you feel is grounded and rooted. And they're also holding on to this flame, right? But if you think about that flame, it could also be like a dagger, right? Because a snake doesn't know its own power. When a snake goes into its natural state, when it has its prey, what does it do? It clenches, it congests, because the muscles, when they constrict, it literally will take the breath the life out of anything, right? So let's just say that that flame, that fire, right, is a dagger. The tighter and the closer that that snake clenches on, that snake is going to feel every single jab, every single wound, because that knife is going to continue to go in because the snake sees it as a threat, but doesn't realize that its own power, its own strength, by holding on so tightly, it's causing its own inflicted wounds. And that's where sometimes we have to release, right? Because we get so consumed with seeing a choice or a decision the way that we want to see it, and we end up fixating ourselves in a situation where you literally inflict your own wounds. Sometimes you want to help people, sometimes you want to do this, but when you do that, you end up causing more infliction to yourself, more things that you need to heal from, more things that, you know, because of the choice or decision that you lack to make, right? You chose to stay where you felt was comfortable. And because of that, you end up burning in your own flame. You see what I'm saying? I want to read this card too, but I'm getting a lot. I'm getting a lot because I feel like, especially for a lot of you, right? When it comes to your mind and your heart is very hard to distinguish the two, because I'm also seeing like the water, how the water is running from her eyes into the stream of water. That's emotion, right? And then this one right here, she's white, 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 white. So for me, the way that I envision that is somebody who is overly consumed in thoughts, right? That you're not able to process your thoughts, you're not able to process your emotions, so you're just kind of stuck in limbo. That's like the depiction that I'm getting off of here, right? And it has everything to do with your stability. But there's an issue here with the stability, and you're still wanting to hold on to it for whatever reason. So it says, all that you are, all that you have learned and experienced is born of choice. The choices you have made, the choices others have made on your behalf, or choices they have made for themselves that have impacted on or influenced your life. You may believe that you have no choice, but then in itself is a choice. You may also exercise your right to allow others to decide for you. This too is a choice. You may believe that you have too many options and allow this to confuse and cloud your ability to choose. As I said, this is yet another choice. You are free to choose or to allow others to choose for you. You can choose blindly or with care. You can choose to act or procrastinate. You can make your choices wisely, with knowledge and awareness, or make them in ignorance. Again, we all have a choice. Whether you choose to believe it or not, you are blessed with free will, the power to act and choose independently and determine your future. You are a product of your choices and the choices of others. And that surrounds you within your environment is a result of your choices. And the choices of others all come back to choice. Whew. So listen, y'all. However you want to look at it, right? However you want to look at it, whether you decide to make a choice, whether you decide to not make a choice because you are overwhelmed with so much, that is a choice. Every action, every determination that you embody is a choice. So, again, I feel like there's a lot of things that you are outweighing, collective. All right. It's a lot that you want to give, and you do. You have a lot of options. And if you don't see the options, trust me, the options are coming. But there's a need for you to really figure this out, collective. There's a need for you to figure out this energy. Look, the sage. We have the sage. We have another major coming in. The sage gives me like a very wise energy. You are somebody that's very wise, okay, collective? You are somebody that's very loyal because I see the wolf, right? But you can also embody this energy of being kind of like a loner because sometimes wolves they march in packs, but they also can march alone, right? With this owl here, I feel like a lot, especially at night, is keeping you up at night. There's a lot that needs to take place, especially I see a lot of green, so there is a need for you to really step into a grounded energy. A lot of you guys are very mystical too, very mystical. um let's see what the sage has to say for my collective. It says the sage. The sage in his glory is an enthralling character. He is the sage's older man, one who is entertaining, expressive, knowledgeable, informative, and just a little mystical. Didn't I say it was giving mystical? Y'all give mystical energy. And wizard like. He is a perceptive man, a storyteller at heart who can read and move his audience with skill and ease. He also is just a little bit of a magician and a master communicator. And when the sage card appears in your reading, it represents the sharing of knowledge and communication. Philosophy, mythology, religion, culture, politics, history, science. There's not much that the sage does not love to learn about. He loves knowledge. He loves to understand the how and why of everything and will develop his knowledge to the highest level he can achieve. Knowledge is his one true passion. And at this stage of his life, sharing his knowledge, being the storyteller, is something that brings him great joy. He is, in essence, the voice of society and civilization, but with an unassuming flair for the dramatic. However, as unassuming as he can be, he is a philosopher and orator who enjoys being the center of attention. He could be the perfect professor whose students lean in, listening intensely to every word. He could also be the charismatic politician who charms his constituents and wins by a landslide. If the sage has a message that he feels is important, he will find a way and means to deliver it to his target audience, and that audience will hang on every word. He has particular affinity for young people, and you will often find him surrounded at gatherings, talking, debating, and sharing his wisdom and knowledge. He takes delight in the young and will often place himself in the role of a mentor to students. The sage is also a very deep thinker who sometimes feels a need to withdraw from the world. Didn't I say that? So that he can devote time to research and investigation. He does not learn for learning's sake, but because he has a driving need to understand the universe, natural world, and humanity. His knowledge brings him clarity and enables him to be discerning. Crazy. Crazy, y'all. So again, y'all need you guys are blessed beyond measure, okay? And I'm not just talking about physical material things, but knowledge is power. Knowledge is powerful. So what you know can literally influence or can make shift, okay, your way. I feel like, again, your experiences and the things that you have encompassed in life have made you kind of be this old soul that a lot of people can align with, that understand, that can resonate, always feel like they when this energy comes about, right, you give off like that trustworthy. Like, yeah, this person knows exactly what they're talking about. Like, if I were to tell you, right, that the sky is blue, you would believe it. You would believe it. If I told you that the sky was green, you would also believe it. You would also believe it because you know that sometimes perception is everything. And I may see something a certain way, and you may see something a certain way, but that doesn't make us wrong. Perception is everything. So, again, I feel like there are some choices here that you need to make. There's a choice that needs to be made, okay? You can't keep holding on and letting time just pass. There's a choice that needs to be made. I'm going to draw one more, and then I'm going to gain some clarity. I'm going to gain some clarification on these with another deck. Spirit, give me one more for the collective, please. One more from the Dreams of Gaia, please. One more. Thank you. Ooh. This is giving me the 9 of air. Or is this water? This is water. 9 of cups. We've got the 9 of cups. We got more cup energy, y'all. More cup energy. I'm going to get the page and then I'm going to... Here we go. So listen. There's a lot of heart and mind here. I'm just going to keep it honest. A lot of heart and mind here. Okay. We started off with the 6 of cups, and now we're going into with the 9 of cups. The 9 of cups is definitely asking you to open up your heart. Okay. Definitely open up with your heart, but also start seeing things through this eye, not these eyes. Use this eye. Okay. Use this eye. You guys hear what I'm saying? Use this eye. I feel like a lot of you, your choices, your decisions, it's all going to lead you to your 9 of cups eventually. Everybody is different, right? Everybody has different experiences, different situations that align them on their path. But essentially, this 9 of cups, everything that you've experienced, everything that you've gone through, everything that you have is literally going to lead you into your 9 of cups, your wish fulfillment. It says the very first thing to be born in the darkness of the void was the light. The 9 of water represents a need to embrace an open heart and allow the light of love to transform and heal emotional pain and turn it into knowledge that sets us free. Our past experiences, good and bad, leave an emotional imprint. Remembered joy and love can inspire a sense of well-being. A happy memory creates a feeling within that curves the lips and makes us smile or laugh, while a bad memory can cause tears and open old wounds we thought we healed and forgotten long ago. Have you ever heard a song playing on the radio and had tears form in your eyes because the song was once you shared with a past love who broke your heart? Have you ever had somebody say something to you that has triggered anger because they have touched on deep rooted, remember anger towards another who said, excuse me. Have you ever had somebody say something to you? Oh my God, the restriction. I don't know why I keep getting restrictions. Have you ever had somebody say something to you that has triggered anger because they have touched on deep rooted, remembered anger towards another who said the very same words? Have you ever started laughing uncontrollably because a silly moment in now stirred up memories of a silly happy moment in the past? Our emotions can lift us as high as the stars or plummet us into an abyss of despair. And yet, all too often, we do not know or understand why we feel and react as we do. What makes a memory so much more vivid and unforgettable? What makes them unforgettable It's how they made us feel. This is emotional imprinting at work. And through it, we can and do bind ourselves emotionally to the past. In the present, these imprints become triggers that have us reacting on almost purely emotional level. How many of you have reacted out of emotional impulse? Let me know in the chat. If our mind was a bank in which we could choose what memories we save, the majority would save only the memories that make them smile, while discarding those that make them cry. There would be so many happy, smiling people in the world if we could choose to keep only the memories that make us smile. Unfortunately, we have no choice, but what we do have is the choice to recognize our emotional triggers so the bad memories or those laden with weighty emotions have less influence upon us. By shining a light on the source of the emotional pain and then accepting that the moment that caused it is over and cannot be changed or undone, we take the first step to freeing ourselves from the emotional hooks that bind us to the past. Recognizing how we feel and react when recalling that moment or experiencing one like it is the next step towards emotional awareness. Finally, in being mindful and learning not to react when an emotional trigger is squeezed, we reach emotional enlightenment, a state when we are no longer shackled. Eventually, there comes a time when we no longer have to be mindful because the memory no longer has any influence. The hurt has healed and we have transcended. Now, that is the goal. That is the goal for sure. It says emotional enlightenment is not a gentle process. It involves rummaging through our memories, revisiting old hurts, seeing them and accepting them for what they are, letting go of harmful and destructive beliefs, and then freeing ourselves from the burden of their emotional weight. It takes time and practice, and at the beginning of the process, we can't be more reactive than usual. It's like trying to run up a muddy, slippery slope. We lose our footing, fall, and slip backwards. And that's what essentially happens. I don't know about y'all, but I feel like I've experienced that for sure. For some, the process is simply too difficult. Others resist, wondering why anyone would consciously choose to explore and relive their deepest, most painful memories. It's like choosing to cut open old scars to make them wounds all over again. The reality is they are correct. It's like cutting an open scar, but aggressive measure are needed if a cancer grows beneath the scar tissue. If past memories are making you emotionally reactive in a way that is counterproductive in the now, then there is a cancer present. You might not be reliving the memories consciously, but when they have power influence how you feel and react in the present, then you are reliving those memories on an unconscious level. Does that make sense? So the choice is one between having those memories influence your unconsciously or being mindful and aware and lessening or ending their influence. The Nine of Water offers the choice and asks you to make it. You might not have a choice in the memories your mind stores, but you do have a choice as to which ones you invest in emotionally. Whether it is a past memory or a new one, invest in those that fill you with love and lightness and find yourself rising from the depths. Just as emotional enlightenment is not an easy process, it is also not a spiritual process. It is a healing process. It's the process of making ourselves lighter in being, becoming lighter by letting go of the heavy emotions we unconsciously hold on to and which, in turn, influence our emotional and physical well-being in the present. When the Nine of Water appears in your reading, you are also being asked to consider if, at this time, one of your emotional triggers is being squeezed for good or ill. Asking this question will help you determine whether you are acting for the wrong or right reasons. Ooh, that was intense. I need some water. Listen, y'all. Again, you have experienced a lot in your life. You've experienced a lot of things in your journey. And sometimes holding on to whatever grudge or holding on to pain. It is painful to go through it, but once you release it, it's done and over with. It's not something that you need to harbor on. You understand? So some of you guys could have some severe trauma that you've been holding on to for a very long time that you have yet to work through. And I feel like that also has impacted a lot of your choices, your decision making. Because I feel like the energy is like leading with fear. You get what I'm saying? Is leading with fear. Spirit, please give me confirmation. Why is the Six of Cups here for my collective? What is the energy? What is the energy related to the Six of Cups, Spirit? Please clarify the Six of Cups. So we got the Ace of Wands. The Temperance came out cross, but I'm going to take it upright. And then the Hangman. All right. So again, I feel like a lot of you are about to be enlightened about a certain situation. Whatever felt stuck for a moment, okay, whatever felt stuck for a moment, I feel like things are about to balance out. Things are about to balance out. There's something new coming in here with the Ace of Wands that Spirit wants you to protect, okay? Spirit wants you to protect this Ace of Wands. Whatever this new opportunity, new beginning, new project, whatever this is going to come in divine timing, and that's what Spirit wants you to know. All right. With the Hangman here in reverse, I feel like you're about to be enlightened or have been enlightened about your current journey. So if you had your one foot in and one foot out, there's a need for you to release that so you can welcome in the energy. There's a need for you to embrace it fully, whatever that is. Okay, whatever that opportunity looks like for you, collective. Let's tap in on the choice. Why is the choice here, Spirit? Page of Cups. The Nine of Pentacles. The Two of Wands and the Ten of Pentacles. I feel like for a lot of you, the end goal is essentially generational wealth. There could be a move here. For some of you, there could be a move here where you're going from an independent energy to now codependent. You could be moving in with somebody. All right, you could be moving in with somebody. Why is the Sage here, Spirit? Give me some clarification on the Sage. Thank you. Listen, I'm gonna need y'all to stop playing games with you. You are who you are. You are who you are, full and through. All right. I don't know what's got you insecure, what's got you thinking that you can't think thoroughly, what's got you thinking shit is off. All right, but you are wise. And I feel like people essentially will see who they tried, right? Because you could tell when somebody try you, you can feel it. Oh, you tried me. Oh, you thought. Oh, you didn't know I go that way. Like, don't try to think that you're gonna run game. It's not gonna work. I'm hearing that. Nine of Cups, Spirit. Nine of Cups for my collective. Nine of Cups. We got the Strength. We got the Strength with the Ten of Cups. And the World in reverse. Listen, it's been an uphill battle. Your emotional state has been an uphill battle. I can already see it. It seems like a roller coaster. But Spirit wants you to know that you do have some stability on the rise. All right. You have good luck. Some of you guys, if you play scratch offs or numbers, I would highly suggest, okay, because I feel like you're coming into some sort of abundance here. And we're in Leo season right now. So yeah, I really do feel like if you've been praying about something or trying to um manifest something towards you, I see it coming. I know you've been through a lot, collective. I know you have. I get it. But I think it's time that you step into your power fully and remember who the fuck you are, because you are somebody that has so much to offer. Don't let people confuse you and make you think otherwise. You get me? You get me, collective? I'm gonna release a collective energy there. I pray that you guys received your message. I'm gonna start using that deck a little bit more. 102. I don't even know what I'm gonna name this collective, but I feel like y'all got some good energy coming your way, and I think it's time that you keep it to yourself. Don't matter how anybody take it, because people always gonna have something to say. I release a collective energy. I call back all my power. I say to the ancestors in advance. Thank you so much, Spirit, for allowing me to tap in for the beautiful collective. Um. All right, y'all. I'm gonna go ahead and post that collective. You guys are more than welcome to run it back. I will be on later tonight. I will be opening up my list. So if you guys would like to join the live, you guys are more than welcome to. It is a $15 minimum donation. All of my information is in my bio. Okay. Thank you so much for tuning in, collective. Love, light, prosperity to you guys. And make sure that you guys keep for you. Okay. You guys can help, but only to an extent. I love y'all.